the mix with D.Hall and the People's Show.
Coming to us out of studio today in beautiful Raleigh, North Carolina. He stands next to his world-famous producer, Jay. He is the #1 undisputed top talk show host on the air today. The voice of the People Show. Ladies and gentlemen, here is D.Hall.
Production.
Hello to everybody. Hello to you. Man, it's another Sunday. It's a late Sunday for me, but we are here and glad to be here. First and foremost, I want to thank my Heavenly Father for letting me see the today. And truly, it's a blessing to see you as we talk. This is another Sunday. We are back. Combat Sunday, I always call it that, and that's what it is. Share the video one time, if you will. Before we get started, this is a online program. It is the word of talk and discussion. This is an online talk show that educate adult audiences. Parental advisory is advised. Some things may not be censored. Lives are not edited for children. So if you will, watch your kids. It may be some things that we might say out the way. So, we don't want the kids to hear that. Yeah, my man, he's been up here before. It's been a while now. I think it's almost been 2 years, but we got him back, professional referee Tony Weeks, and we get ready to talk to him. Man, we got a lot to talk about within the next 30 minutes. Let me bring him in right now. Y'all share the video, if you will. Thank you so much. I'm going to bring my man in right now. Hello, sir.
All right.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I am doing wonderful. It's another Sunday. How's the weather out there in Vegas, man?
Hot, and hot.
Good to see you. Second time on the program, and I'm glad to have you back. For some of the people that don't know who you are, if you don't mind, tell them who you are and where you're from. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Tony Weeks. I'm a professional boxing referee here out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and I've been refereeing fights since 1994.
Wow, long time.
Yeah.
Now, look, I was looking at, because you just said you're from Brooklyn, but somehow, how did they get Georgia on your background? Georgia.
I don't know about Georgia, but I know my people are from South Carolina.
I saw that. I wanted to question you about that because I didn't know. I saw that, but you cleared it up for me. That's okay. That's good. Look, we're going to talk a little bit. We're not going to hold you too long. We got you for 30 minutes, so we're going to cram everything we can in the next 30 minutes. But just talking, we're going to talk a little bit because me and you talked before about your background a little bit and how you got started and all that. So you actually, like I said, you're in Vegas, but you when did you start your professional refereeing?
Well, like I said, yeah, in '94, at the time, I was working in Phoenix, Arizona. I was working in the federal prison system as an athletic director.
Yeah.
And what had happened was I had put on a boxing exhibition,
Right.
For the inmates there. We brought some fighters up, and actually had a fighter there who was an inmate there who one of the trainers was interested in training when he got out. So I just decided, let's put a whole show together, and so we brought the fighters up, and we kind of made. I got permission from the warden, and that the inmate was allowed to spar with one of the fighters. So I kind of made his fight the main event type thing. So what had happened was they got up there and they started sparring, and it dawned on me like, man, I didn't get a referee. And more so out of curiosity, I asked one of the trainers, Beto Martinez. I said, mind if I get up there? He says, no, go ahead. And I tell you, I got up there and like instantly I fell in love with it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
actually, Beto Martinez took it a step further, and at the end of the show, he asked me if I ever done that before. I said no. He said, "Well, you got good natural movements," and he took it a step further and called the Arizona State Boxing Commission, and the rest is history.
Wow. Yeah. And you know what? That story, that was a story that, I just wanted the people to get a short, brief understanding of how you begin to get into the refereeing. And it was all she wrote from there on. And look where you're at right now in 2023 with me. Yeah.
All praises due.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Look, hey, look, there's a lot of things, a lot of refereeing is difficult. What are tell me and tell the people what are some of the difficulties that you may have encountered during your career in refereeing?
Well, first and foremost, we have the two fighters' lives in our hands,
Yes.
and that's a very heavy responsibility to have. Um, you're dealing with a fighter's health, you're dealing with a fighter's career. Um, there's a multitude of things that you're dealing with while you're in that ring, and the action is so fast sometimes. You're not going to be in position at all times to see everything, but you try to be in position at 90% of the time to see what's going on, to make the correct call.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, you just you have to make a call, like that, and you hope
Instant.
it's the right call.
Yes.
One of the good things that we have here in Vegas, we have the instant replay, which is great. So the whole point of that is we want to get it right, but just being in that ring,
Yeah.
in that ring with two the highly tuned
Hmm.
athletes in the world.
Hmm.
And these guys go at it from the small guys to the big guys. And
Yeah.
some of those spiders, they can make you work in there.
Yeah, exactly. I know they can, Tony, because I've watched you and I've seen you run around in the ring and you stand in the mix of things and what you're doing. I want to say hello to some people that's coming in and let you know who's here at this present time. Um, First of all, I want to say hello to Stephen Covell out of the UK. He has actually he's the founder of the BWTV boxing over there, the boxing group over there. He's just joined us. I want to say hello to him. Jackie Bowers, hello to you. Thank you for coming in out of the New Jersey area up there. She's
Jack
checking.
Gay.
Jackie Bowers, New Jersey in the house, man. T-Bone, T-Bone out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. The gentleman that made my custom made necklace. I don't know if y'all
Wow.
can see that.
All right.
So he's in the house right now. Big supporter of Michael Williams Sr. and Jr. Thank T Bone for coming on and being a part of what we're doing right here. Tony, you just said it. You just said what you said, wasn't even 3 minutes ago. The responsibility. Man, how big is it? I mean, to have two guys in there, both of them got their like, what is your responsibility? Responsibility is what?
Yeah, like I say, we're there to enforce the rules and regulations and make sure it's a fair contest. But ultimately, the responsibility of those two guys lies in the hands. Nothing goes above, goes
Oh,
above that.
right. Exactly. There
And
you go. Yeah.
yeah, and like I said before, it's a heavy responsibility to have that on your hands. You know, um, Fans can react in certain ways, let the fight go on or whatever the
Yeah.
situation is, but it's very easy for them because they bear no responsibility what happens to those fighters. We
Right.
bear all the responsibility, and like I say, having that responsibility, is a different mentality that we have.
Yeah. Look, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about a fight back in 2000. Bernard Hopkins and Antoine Eccles. I think you remember that fight. Uh, that was seemed to be one of your toughest fights that you had to referee. What made that fight so tough for you?
Bernard, Yeah, yeah, and Bernard and I, we developed a good relationship over the years, and we have a little running joke between us. You know, that was my first big name fight in Vegas when I got on in Vegas.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you remember that fight was on a Friday night because the following night you had the big name fight with Tito Trinidad and Fernando Vargas. So
Correct.
everybody was in town. Um, Now, like I say, that was my first time, doing the Bernard Hopkins fight, and I learned very quickly he's very, very crafty in there, and I, I was tested to the fullest. And when you're going through something like that in real time, you can't really grasp what's happening. And in my mind, I'm like, because it was live on HBO, and in my mind, I was like, wow, I don't know, my career may be done. Because a lot of things was just going back and forth, and I was like, because Larry Merchant, they're gonna have a field day on this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would make a long story short, I end up taking the point away from Bernard, and I went over to the corner, and I told Bernard, I said, Bernard, cut it out, fight like
Right.
a champion.
Right.
And later on, when he said, hey, a referee never said that to me. He said, when you said that to me, I couldn't dispute it. You know, but
Exactly.
uh, I finally had to stop the fight, and at the time, the executive director was Mark Ratner. And when Mark got up into the ring, and usually when Mark gets up into the ring, and there's usually some type of controversy or potential for any
Yeah.
controversy.
Yeah.
Um, but Mark told me, he just said, just go to the back, don't talk to anybody, blah blah blah. And we announcing the winner, Bernard Hopkins. I remember Bernard had the little hood on, and the executioner hood, and he just kind of under his breath said, sorry, I gave you a hard time. I'm like, man, but
Yeah.
so I'm getting out the ring, and now I'm walking through a gauntlet of people, saying this and saying that,
Yeah.
and I'm going to the back, and I'm kind of like you like you say, because you can't really grasp. I knew it was a tough fight, but you just can't
Yeah.
really grasp what happened.
Grasp it. Yeah.
But I remember, some trainers and people coming over to me and saying, "Man, you did a good job in that fight. That was a tough fight for even the most experienced referee."
Correct.
And what that fight did, it really put me on the map. Uh, it showed the public what I can do in a tough fight, and more importantly, it showed me what I can do if I'm involved in a
Exactly.
tough fight.
Exactly.
Kudos to Bernard, because he really he made me a better referee that night. I came to Vegas a professional referee, but that night I became a pro.
Yeah, you did. You did that night. As I looked at that, and I said, "Man, that guy Tony had a tough night that night.
Yeah,
Really, you really did, man. But you held your ground. You did well. You did very well.
yeah.
And kudos to you, brother. I want to say hello to some people that's coming in. Kevin Jackson, thank you for stopping by, and I hope you're doing well. He said hello to you, Tony.
All right.
I don't know if you can see it on the screen or not, but Tony Burgess out of Spring Lake, North Carolina. That's my man right there. He's on Burgess Boxing and Fitness. I'm glad to see him. Hello to you, Tony. Thank you for coming in. And Dan Hewitt, UK's rocking the house. Dan Hewitt,
Damn.
boxing.
All right.
Dan, what's up, man? They in the UK storming in here now. They come from all different directions. Good to see you, Dan. Dan's been on my program too. Thank you, Dan, for coming in. Hello to you. And Paul Capute, New Jersey, coming in all of a sudden, man. You must got some folks up there, man.
Hey, yeah, I'm Brooklyn and Jersey. East Coast, baby.
Yeah, East Coast. There we go. Paul Capute. He is a celibate boxer. He's affiliated with Damian Field, the founder of Celibate Boxing. He had a fight about a month ago, and he won his match. And glad to see him on here. He says, "What's up, Tony? Great ref. You ref one of my fights 17 years ago in Delaware. Wow." Wow, wow, that's unbelievable. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's move a little bit further here, Tony. Um, Tony, in the 80s, the 90s, even the 2000s, we saw fighters fight each other one on one. There wasn't, it was just a one on one. It's me and you. And what I'm saying is there wasn't no BS in it. And what I'm saying is that it, the best fought the best. Right. That's what happened back then. In your opinion, why has it taken so long to get to that point right now? And what I'm talking about, because what we saw with Javante Davis and my man, they fought this earlier this year. Devontae and I can't think of his name,
Yeah,
Garcia. Yeah,
yeah, I got yeah.
yeah. But why has it taken so long for
You,
you know?
it's just hard to say. Just like anything, boxing is evolving or constantly evolving. The fighters are different. A lot of the circumstances are different. You mentioned the 60, the 70s and 80s.
Yeah,
You know, fighters, went 15 rounds. They fought more, sometimes 3 times a year. I don't know. I think it was just a different attitude back then. With a lot of the fighters, um, um, and the willingness to know, hey, I want to know if I can beat this guy. I don't know, whether fighters really want to protect the O
hmm,
on their record, as opposed to, like I say, just going out there and fighting the guy. Because kudos to a lot of the champions from the past. Yeah, they fought everybody, and uh, uh, you know,
yeah,
even in sometime in losing, uh, uh, the loser never lost. Yeah,
right,
just the way they fought. So
yeah,
I just think, today, having been a fan in that era, the 70s, even the 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s, you know, I can have an understanding of the mentality of those fighters back then. Yeah, a
yeah,
lot of them were hungry. A lot of them, like I say, just wanted to really know. Hey, yeah, I want to know if I could beat this guy. A lot of fighters, like are blessed
hmm,
with great challengers.
hmm,
You know, Frazier pushed Ali.
right,
uh, 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 Leonard had Hagler, Hearns, Duran, all those great eras of great
yeah,
challenges. So yeah, I just think that it was a totally different mentality back then. Fighters, wanting to really make these fights happen, and you
yeah.
have a lot of fighters today that still want to do that. But it's not being on the inside is hard to say. What's getting in the way.
Right. Question from uh, Stephen Covell out of the UK. His question is: can any of the '90s heavyweight beat Fury? Good question, huh?
Well, of course, we had Tyson in the '90s, Lennox Lewis in the '90s. You know, Tyson.
Holyfield.
I'm sorry,
Holyfield.
Holyfield. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Um, I had the opportunity to be the referee when Tyson won the title from Klitschko in
Right.
Germany at the O2 Arena, and actually that was my first time seeing Tyson, and I was really impressed with his size, that his boxing ability, his agility, the speed that he had,
Hmm.
in that fight, or just his overall ability. I
Yes.
was really really impressed with his boxing skills, and they always say a good big man could beat a good little man.
Right.
Uh, and because you have that advantage of him. But like I say, we will never know if he was in there with Tyson or Holyfield,
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis, or any of those guys. But
It's hard to say.
one thing for sure, all three of those guys will definitely give him a run for his money.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree with you on that. I think they would too. You're talking about some, and back then, those guys was hungry. Them guys was they was taking on the top level
Yeah,
heavyweights.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
they didn't jump around; they went straight to you, and they signed the contract and they was fighting. So yeah,
yeah,
you know, it's different eras. You know, it's just like you
yeah.
say, different eras, man. It's just so different. You know, you think about it, but you know, will it actually happen? We don't never know. We won't never know.
No.
Um, Here we go. I want to talk about some things here. Some fights. I'm just general. Like I said, we had a big fight with John Tate Davis and Ryan Garcia. We had Lomachenko with Devin Haney versus Devin Haney. We had Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. We had Crawford coming up. We're going to talk about that coming up with Spence, and we got, of course, Canelo versus Charlo. With these such great fights, what has that done to elevate, in your mind, elevate boxing right now? What has that done for the sport of boxing?
Oh, I think it's done a lot, in in terms of uh, giving the fans what they want to see. They want to see these fights. People always ask me about the UFC or MMA. One thing about the UFC and MMA, they make the fights happen. Now, of course,
There you go. Yeah.
they don't have the middleman like they do in boxing, but it just goes to show, when you satisfy the fans, that really elevates the sport in itself, and it's a great thing that these fights are really starting to happen.
Yes. Yes. It is. It is a wonderful thing that it is. Uh, y'all share the video if you would, please. With my man Tony Weeks, Vegas. We got him here for the next 10 minutes. We're gonna get everything we can in here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Uh, um, Tony, here we go. Acting. Movies, man. You're a master. You're a master of them all. Uh, you did Southpaw. You did a couple of other. Creed 3 was your last one you did. Man, how did you get the opportunity to get into Creed 3? How did you get that opportunity?
I was blessed, man. I was blessed. You know, there's one thing, because I was involved in a couple other movies, Southpaw, and I had a little small role in the last Rocky movie. But what I noticed now in these fight scenes, uh, the au- for these fights to be more authentic, they're bringing in the real people, the real referees, the real officials, the real
Yes.
judges, the real announcers.
Yeah.
So the people can relate to it,
Yeah.
and when I got the call for Creed 3, I was like, oh wow, yes, definitely, absolutely, I'm honored. Uh, and I was on location in Atlanta, Georgia for 2 weeks,
Right.
12 hours a day. And of course, my scene is physical. So,
Yeah.
you really have to be in condition because, you're doing take after take after take. But I was really impressed with, Michael B. and Jonathan Major, especially Jonathan Major. I've seen Michael B. Jordan, with
Yeah.
his previous fights, and I
Yeah.
knew what he can do. Excuse me. But I was really impressed with uh, uh, what's the name of him?
Oh,
Jonathan Majors. Uh,
John. Yeah.
yeah, and I asked him. I said, "You ever boxed before?" He said, "No." He just, had a coach for the past couple of months, and it was like, wow. But they really, really made those scenes authentic, as you see in the movie.
Yeah. Wow. Great. 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 Here we go. Got a question for you, Tony, from Dan. He said, do you believe that Cambosis beat Max Hughes last night?
Well, actually, I didn't see the fight.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, but if I had seen the fight, I really couldn't comment on
Exactly. There you go. I got you. You couldn't
it.
comment on it. Yeah. There you go. And that says a lot right there, y'all. So be careful with the questions. Uh, Dan Hewitt said Dan of course saw the fight, so he said that he felt like the Brit got robbed.
Mm.
But anyway, here we go. Let's get back to acting a little bit. We're going to talk about boxing. We got boxing. I got another 5 minutes on that box, but I want to get to this acting. Um, Look, was you nervous? Did you have the goosebumps or what? Was you nervous when you?
No, no, not really, because I'm playing myself, and I was just feeding off of they have a script, of the
Okay.
fight scene with the fight scenes, but I was more or less being natural and going off of what those guys were doing,
Oh, okay.
you
You
know.
feet
And
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
and Michael B, he was really open to suggestions. I did a little tweak here, a little tweak there. Hey,
Yeah.
want to try this or look at it this way, to like you say, to really make the
Yeah. Yeah.
things
Yeah.
authentic.
And you know what? It's just what you said, Tony. And I want to say that I want y'all to understand because I was in theater. You feed off the other person.
Yes,
That's what you do.
yes.
And that's and how I know that because I was on stage before.
Hmm.
I was out because my parents. I went to school in Michigan, and I was in theater. And exactly what he said. You feed off of them because they're gonna make you good, and you're gonna make them good. That's how
Yeah,
that
absolutely,
works.
absolutely.
That's how that works. In case
Yes.
y'all didn't know. So Tony, I got a little bit of theater somewhere.
There you go.
We got some people coming in. I want to shout them out right now. We are live with my man Tony Wicks, professional uh, referee, and a little acting there going on. Hello to you, Yara, the royalty family of TikTok. Hello to you. Thank you for coming in. Carletta Ewell, right here in North Carolina. The woman, the champion, Carletta. That's my girl. How you doing? Good to see you. She said hi, Tony.
Hey.
Uh, Jessica, Jessica Joel, hello to you. Uh,
Mhm.
I guess Jessica Joel. Okay, she was somebody told her to come on in here. She's in here. So whoever told her to do that, she's in here. But she's here. Uh, Michelle Washington, another the royalty family, the group that I'm in. Thank them for coming on TikTok. We do a lot of things together. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, y'all. Thank y'all for coming in and being a part of what we're doing right now. Um, royalties is here. Here we go. Um, are you interested in doing more theater and filming and stuff and acting? Are you interested in doing more?
Oh, absolutely. I love it. Like I say, it's a lot of work. Um, uh, scene after scene after scene. But no, it's a great experience.
Yeah,
Uh, to see really what goes into making a movie or making those scenes, authentic
yeah.
and what have you. No, I really love it. I like it.
Good,
It's
good,
like you say,
good.
I'm just being me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. My question is going back to boxing right now. Well, a little bit of boxing, UFC too. Which one is harder to ref, the UFC or boxing?
Well, I don't referee the UFC. I
Okay.
judge UFC fights.
Oh, you
But
judge. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. My fault. Well, I guess it's just you just ref and box. My fault. Okay. Um, whew. What, Tony? What would you say is the best thing about your job?
Wow. It's so you know there's so many things. Just being in that square circle, like I said before, with these finely tuned athletes.
Yeah,
Doing a job that only a few can do.
yeah,
Uh, because refereeing not and like in any other sport, as an official, you have a team of people. Uh, in boxing, it's just you.
yeah. Just you.
There's
Yeah, yeah.
three people in that ring, and it's just you. Um, but just being in the excitement, uh,
Got to fools a little
nervous.
bit.
But I love doing it. And one of the other good things about it, is boxing has taken me around the world.
Well,
I've
yeah.
been in
Oh,
so many
yeah.
different countries
Countries. Yeah,
to appreciate fight. So
yeah.
it's just so many things that it's hard to really pinpoint one thing
Point,
that
point, one thing. Yeah.
really
Okay.
stands
Great.
out.
Gotcha. Gotcha. A question for Stephen Covell. He says, "Are the heavyweights avoiding the big fights? Because it seems like that's kind of damaging to boxing. Do you think they're avoiding the big fights?
I don't think so. Like I say, I can't speculate on that because I'm not on the
Yeah.
inside,
Right.
knowing
Right.
what's going
Yeah.
on behind the scenes. But eventually it'll work its way out.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Yara says, "How?" I think he's saying, How did it take to? Let me see. How long? I guess he said, "How long did it take to make the movie?"
Well, I don't know to make the complete movie, but like I say, for my scene, it took 2 weeks,
2
12 hours
weeks.
a day.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. 12
yeah,
hours a day. Wow,
yes. We had the weekends
wow.
off. We had the weekends off, but yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah,
And what was that? And where was that movie made at now?
yeah. And Atlanta, Georgia. My scene was in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, your scene was in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. Great, great. Okay, y'all keep pouring the questions in, but we ain't got but a couple more minutes. But anyway, Jessica said hi to you, Tony.
Hey,
Jessica
Jessica.
Duell. She said, and Jackie says congratulations to you. Yeah, we got
Hey,
Tony Weeks, the the man that's been in so many world championship fights, also an actor. Truly glad to have him on, and we have had a great discussion today about his career, what goes on inside, the responsibilities of a fight of him being the referee. Um, Tony, if he wasn't refereeing, what do you think he'd be doing?
oh, actually, my other passion is singing. And
Wow. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
actually, I'm in the midst of putting together a group. We do a lot of the R&B, old school R&B stuff, Temptations,
Great.
stylistics, dramatics, you name it. Yeah, I really enjoy that.
Great. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I want to say this before because we're closing it out now. I want to say if anybody's in here and I didn't say your name or call you out, please forgive me. I like to recognize people when they come into this program because, some people, some hosts don't, some do. I do because I want the people to know that I see you and I want to say hello to you. That's how I do it here on this program with me and Jay York Production. Uh, don't know where he is today. He must be doing some other things, but anyway, here we go. Any questions for me, Tony?
Any questions for you?
Yes, sir.
No, like I say, I really appreciate you, having me on your program. It's a great program, but it's my second time
Yes, sir.
being on this program. You're very professional and having details and putting everything together, building up to the interview. No, hey, just keep doing what you're doing, brother. I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you, man, and you let the people know out there on the West Coast who I am. Tell them to come
You got it.
check me, check my show out. I love because I want some more West Coast people on this show, for sure. We got a question. Yara says, "Have you ever stopped a fight?
Have I ever stopped the
Stopped the
fight?
fight? Yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
There's some
yeah,
fights
yeah."
you have to stop. Yeah.
And he said, "If so, and why and who? If so, why and who?"
Well, it's like I said before, it's protection of the fighter.
Right.
If a fighter's taking too much punishment, uh, uh, and they're not responding in the right way, or even if they get knocked down and the way they go down, they're
Yeah.
struggling to get up. It's our job to protect that fighter. And fighters' mentality is to fight on. And we understand that, but as a referee, we have to protect the fighter from himself.
There you go. I want to say hello to my royalty. Tina Smith is in the house. Royalty family. That's my part of my family on TikTok. I want to say hello to them. Thank you for coming in and being a part of what we're doing here. Wow, it's been tremendous, Tony. I thank you. I truly thank you for coming on and being a part of what we do right here, me and Jay, and hopefully we'll get you back on. But before we go, big fight, the fight of the decade. Crawford, Spence. What's your thoughts on it? What you think about it?
Gonna be a good one.
Yeah,
It's going
that's going
it's
to be a
going to
good one.
be a good one, and it's great that it's happening, and when fighters are in their prime, and once again, it's good for boxing and just
Yeah,
elevates it to another level.
yep. And one more, I forgot. I got to throw this one out there. Another big one coming in September. Charlo, Canelo. Wow, that's another good one. Any thoughts on
Yes,
that one?
yeah, right. Like you just said, another great fight, another another great fight happening. Where the guys are still in prime
Yep, Prime.
and
Yep,
ready to go. And
yeah,
yeah,
great,
so once
undisputed.
again, yes, is great for boxing.
Great for boxing. Excellent, excellent. Well, Tony, I got to get out of here. And I know you do too, man. It's been tremendous, like I said, and I thank you. Uh, what does the D.Hall People Show and the J York Productions mean to you?
Means a lot. Gives me a chance to express myself as a referee, as a person, as a man. Gives me a great platform to deal with the public. I'm thankful for the people tuning in who tuned in for this program.
Yeah.
It's just another great opportunity.
Yes, and I thank you. I hope to see you again, maybe before the year is out. You're always welcome to this program, and I thank you for coming back. I truly do, because, I mean, some people say they come, some people don't, but you have stuck to your word and you did it, and we that's why we want you to keep coming back here. Look,
Absolutely. Once again, thank you for having me, and I would definitely love to come back.
thank you so much, Tony. We'll catch you next time, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Take care. There you have it, y'all. My man Tony Weeks. Wow, glad to have him on. Tremendous. Some of the questions, well, all the questions was answered tonight. Look, we're going to be back Sunday. The state of North Carolina is getting ready to rock and roll. August the 12th, we got Michael Williams Sr. and Jr. coming on. Michael Williams Jr.'s got a fight coming up August the 12th. They're a big part of what I do, and I'm glad to have him on. Next Sunday, 4 p.m. No, excuse me, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss this one. This is all about rocking and rolling. We can't wait to get this interview on. So you had 10 questions, Yara. Well, you had to hold them till next time, brother. My girl Carletta, thank you so much. I appreciate you. That's the woman, the world champion, my girl. Tune in next Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got the father and son, Michael Williams Sr. and Jr. on, getting ready for that big fight, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Man, let's turn it out, y'all. Y'all know how it go. Y'all know how it go. Look, appreciate y'all coming in. Me, Jay, we thank y'all. Royalty family, thank y'all too for stopping in and coming through, showing love right here. We'll catch y'all Sunday. Next Sunday, we'll be back. Get ready, y'all. We'll see you then.
You are in the mix. You are in the mix with D.Hall and the People's Show.
Coming to us out of studio today in beautiful Raleigh, North Carolina. He stands next to his world-famous producer, Jay. He is the number one, undisputed, top talk show host on the air today. The voice of the people show. Ladies and gentlemen, here is D.Hall.
Production.